How's it going out there? Welcome from H2TechVideos. Today we're going to be doing the Galaxy Note 8-inch for beginners, and this is going to be part 2. Part 2, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the basic features of the tablet, kind of help you understand what are the different icons, how do you navigate, get around the tablet. In part 1, we just went over how to set it up, so this is the funner part, and it will get funner as we go. Now the first thing we want to do here, and for most of you, this is what you should see when you first open the tablet up. If you swipe down from the top here, you will see that there was a software update that has been done on the tablet because they're going to add some new features to the tablet. So you definitely want to swipe down right from the top. Let me show you one more time. Start where it says Samsung, put your finger there and just swipe all the way down the screen. Tap software update. And so choose your country, press OK. And then we're going to check the box under I accept all terms, confirm, it'll register the device, and then it will do the update. Again, the updates are really important because Samsung is always doing a lot of new things in terms of their software and adding a lot of cool features that really make it stand out from the competition. So you don't want to miss out on all those cool features just because you didn't do a software update, you know? Press OK, software update is done. Yours might take a little bit longer. I think I might have already done it and didn't know it. But anyway, let's jump right in. So the first thing I want to go over here is the buttons you see at the bottom here. And we have a menu button. We have our home button. And then we have a back button. Now let's start with the menu button first. When you tap that button right there, you get some shortcuts here. So if you wanted to add an app or a widget to your home screen, you would just tap this button right here. Now we go over this a little bit more in the part 3, so we're not going to touch on this too much, but this is how you get to that section. Same thing with creating a folder. Just tap right there. You can put your apps in folders to organize things better. You can also change the wallpaper. So if you don't like this little background with the feather pen and all that, you could change that. And you can also make some edits in terms of the changes. A lot of this stuff we're going to kind of address in the third video, but this button is our main menu button. So even when you're in certain apps, when you press this, this is how you get to the menu section of that app. So very important to know what that is. Now this button is your back button. Now for example, if you're in an app, let's say we're in the settings, and let's say we went to applications, for example. With the back button, you can tap it, and it will take you back a step. Now, the settings app actually probably wasn't the best app to do that in. Let's actually go to the gallery, and we can explain a little bit better in here. So we're in the gallery here, and let's say we tap on the camera. And then we tap this picture right here. So with the back button, you can actually tap back and it will take you back one step. And if we tap it again, then it takes us here. So that's what the back button does. It kind of like lets you retrace your steps. So for every one step you took forward, this will take you back one step. So again, if we went to pictures and tap on that picture, if I press back, it takes me to this screen. If I press it again, it'll take me there, and if I press it again, it actually takes you out of the app. So it will take you all the way back to the beginning, which is the home screen as well. Now, in some apps, you won't see a button to kind of like move between the screens. It's because you have to use the back button to go back after you have gone forward to select certain things. So just keep that in mind. You also have right here, this big button is your home button, and so any app that you open up, for example, if we open the Play Store, if you want to get back to your main screen, you're going to tap the home button, and that will take you right back here. So any app that you're in, we could be in chat on, for example, home button, back to the home screen. So this is kind of a fail-safe. If you ever tap on the wrong thing by accident, or you just need to get back to the main section, which is here, all you got to do is use that home button. Now, if you're already on the home screen and you press the home button, it actually will do nothing. Some bring up other menus. But now, for example, if we're on a different screen, if we're on this screen and we tap the home button, it takes us back to this page because this is our home page of our home screen. Okay. So now there are some advanced things that these buttons do. These buttons actually do a little bit more than just what you see right here. If you were to hold down on the home button, so press it, keep your finger on it, it actually brings up your multitask window. This actually shows you all the apps that you have open right now. So we opened up settings, the gallery, Play Store, and the Chat On app. So this is a little shortcut to close out those apps. So for example, a lot of people don't know that when you open an app, just because you've hit the home button and gone back to the home screen, it doesn't mean that that app is closed. For example, if I go to Dropbox, okay, just because I press the home button, it doesn't mean that Dropbox is closed. It just means that now I'm back on the home screen. So again, we hold down this button here, Dropbox is still open because it's in the multitask section. Okay, so if you want to actually close it, you actually have to swipe. You can use the pen or you can use your finger. You can go left or right, but that's how you close apps. Now, if you have a lot of apps open at once, you can tap this button and that closes them all at the same time. So that's a nice little just shortcut, and all Android tablets don't give you an option to close all the apps at once. So it's definitely important to take advantage of that because it'll let you just close out the apps faster. The reason you don't want to have so many apps open at once is because it will slow down the tablet. So if you have too much stuff open and you're not closing them out, then the tablet will begin to run slow and be a little choppy. So to avoid that, you just hold down that button there and you swipe the apps closed, and right now no recent apps, so it means nothing is open right now. Now this button does one more thing. If we hit it quickly 2 times, click click, it will open up our S voice. We're going to confirm that. And S voice is basically like Siri but for Android, and this is pretty cool. We actually get a little quick walkthrough, so let's take the walkthrough here. So it shows you kind of how it works. When you hear a beep is when you can talk. You can hear your voice feedback, such as what would you like to do, voice prompts enabled, say what you want directly to the device. So basically, you know that it's listening when the little blue flickers in the little microphone. Okay, let's go next here. And you can say hi Galaxy when you're in S voice or on the lock screen, and then it'll wake up and it'll ask you what do you want it to say. So let's go next here. S voice not only recognizes voices but also handwriting. If you detach the pen from the device, the following icon will appear. Enable handwriting mode. Never really used that feature, so I can't say too much on that. Oh, this is pretty cool too. So if you say something that you wanted to type for you and it messes it up, you can actually tap and edit the text. This is actually newer. It didn't do this before, so that's pretty cool. So this is a list of commands that you can say to it. So for example, you can say search. You can say look up Joe, and it will look them up in your contacts. Or you can say memo, do my laundry. You know, or search this, or open this app, or what is the weather today? So these are some commands that I would definitely get familiar with, because with these you will be able to take more advantage of S voice. Now usually I always skip this page and then I never know what to say exactly, and then I don't have a good experience with S voice. So definitely want to get familiar with this list. Now in the midst of this, I'm going to show you a little trick. You have your S Pen, okay? Now this little button on the side, if you put the pen close to the screen and press the button, it will actually take a picture of the screen. Let me show you. So just put the pen close until you see the dot, and then just press the button. Oh, a little closer. Oh, you know what? Take that back. That's how you do it on the Note 3. On here, you actually have to, you press the button first and then touch the screen. There we go. Press and touch. And then we come up here, we hit done, and it will save that picture of the screen. So this is a good place to take a picture because you may want to go back later and take a look at that. So again, press and touch the screen. You gotta do it real quick though. Press and touch. Hit done. And now we have our screenshots. We can actually go back later and look at this in our gallery. Anyway, let's hit finish. And then we can see what it looks like. So right now it's asking what would you like me to do, and it's actually listening, so it's not going to probably know what to do because I haven't told it to do anything yet. But let's see here. Okay, so tap the microphone. What's the weather like today?
Make sure you got your sunglasses today.
Okay, so there's that. Now, instead of tapping the microphone when I want to say something, I can just say, "Hi, Galaxy." And now I can speak. Memo, do my laundry.
I'm not sure what you mean by, and I can speak. Memo, do my laundry.
Okay. So that's one thing about this tablet. I haven't used this feature a lot because the microphone isn't, or the search isn't like great. Sometimes it gets, sometimes it doesn't. You can tap it and you can edit it as well. So I would like, for example, take this out and then just have it say do my laundry and then hit done. And now it'll edit it and it'll do the right thing for you. Well, let's see.
Save to memo.
See that? So now we have a memo that's do my laundry. So anyway, that's S-Voice. It's not great. I don't use it a lot, but it is a feature on there, so I definitely want to make sure you know how to use it. Now, since we're done with that, we want to go ahead and hit the home button, and it will take us back to our home screen. Okay? So remember, with the home button, if you're in an app and you press it, it will take you home. If you hold down on it, it will take you to your multitask section where you can close out your apps, or you can go back to an older app that you were working on if you want to look at it again. So we can just tap Play Store, and then we can now keep using this app as well. Home, and then you can also double tap the home button to bring up S-Voice. Two presses at the same time. Okay. Now, there's another little shortcut here, and that is on this on the back arrow. If you press and hold, actually we have to turn that on first, so we'll get back to that feature. The next thing that's important here is the notification panel, and basically you start at Samsung with your finger and just slide down or swipe down, and this is where you can make a lot of changes to the tablet like real quick. These are a lot of your shortcuts and switches. So at the top here, you can turn on your Wi-Fi, turn it on or off just by tapping that button. You don't have to use the pen, you can just use your finger, just like that. Okay, so this is pretty cool. You definitely want to turn your Wi-Fi off when you know you're not going to use the tablet a lot, because it will help with conserving the battery. Okay, you can also turn on the GPS if you wanted to map out some directions. GPS, if GPS isn't on, then it's harder to use the map app, so you want to turn this on, you know, when you want to look up directions. And again, you just swipe down from the top. Start here, swipe down. You can also put your tablet on vibrate, and the way you do that is when the speaker is green, tap it once and then it will say vibrate. Tap it again, now it's totally muted, and if we tap it one more time, the sound is back on. So whatever it says is what's currently on. So it's on vibrate, mute, and now it's on. You can also turn the screen rotation off, and what this does, when this is on, you can actually turn the tablet sideways and it will rotate sideways like that. Okay, but if you turn it off, try to rotate it, it won't rotate. So that's that. Turn on Bluetooth, blocking mode. Blocking mode, as you can set it so after a certain hour it won't make noise. So if you don't want it to like make notification sounds when you get new emails or things like that, you can set blocking mode and then it won't make noise between certain hours. Power saving is good. This setting does help to conserve the battery. Now, the thing I was telling you about earlier about pressing the arrow, we have to turn on what's called multi-window. So you want to tap this, and I would say always keep this on. This is a really cool app right here. I'm going to get to it in a second once we finish going over this section. Screen mirroring, if you have, for example, the Samsung dongle. Oh, it's a little dirty. With this little dongle, you can actually mirror your screen to your TV, so whatever you see on your tablet will show up on your TV. And all you do is turn on screen mirroring, and you connect your Samsung dongle. So, but I don't use that too much on here, but that's right there. You can also tap, you have a shortcut right here to your settings. So if you need to get to the settings real quick to make any type of changes, you can tap that. Here is where you can look at your other switches. By the way, these are called switches at the top here. And if we tap this button, you can look at all the switches. You actually have more, but only certain ones are lit up right now. So like a lot of people don't have to do much with airplane mode or with driving mode. So these switches aren't currently turned on, but you can just by tapping them in this section. And then you can tap menu to get rid of that. Okay, the next thing you can do here is you can adjust your screen brightness. Now right now it's on auto, and so when it's on auto the screen will just adjust as the lighting in the room changes. But if we turn off auto just by tapping that button, we can now adjust it manually. Turn it all the way down, and that's super dim, or we can turn it up to be real bright. So it just kind of depends on how you like it. For the most part, auto does work, but sometimes it'll make the screen really dark. And if you want to change it, you just swipe right down from the top. And if it's on, uncheck it, and then you can control it by where you move that little dot. Again, all this can be done with your finger as well. Okay. And down here is your notification section, and this is where you'll see different information about new emails, Facebook stuff, if you have like an Instagram or social network, if you have certain apps that you're running and the new things happen in the app, they'll all show up in the notification section. And this is kind of cool. If you use two fingers where you see an email, put two fingers on it and then you swipe down. Let's see, two fingers. Swipe down, you can actually read some of the emails. Okay, see that? So there, two fingers, just swipe down. You gotta be careful. If you tap it, it's just gonna open automatically, and we don't want that. Okay, so swipe down, and once you tap the notification, it will be gone, so it will not show up in this section again. So like we can't look at that email thing again until we get new emails. If you have a list of different notifications in here, just tap clear, and then it will get rid of the notifications. Okay, so that is basically, this is your notification panel, and to get there you just swipe from the top. Okay, so we've gone over the buttons, we've gone over the notification panel. Now the next thing we're going to go over is how do you get to all your apps. If you notice, when you swipe, you see a few things, but you don't see all of the apps that are on the tablet. To do that, you would tap right here where it says apps. This is your app drawer, so tap on there. And here it brings up a list of all the apps that are installed on the tablet. So we have 2 pages right now, and it just rotates. So there's just 2 pages, you can tell because it's down here. Page 1, page 2. Every time you get a new app, it will show up in this section as well. If you want to look at your widgets, widgets are right here. Just tap there, and then you have a list of widgets. We're going to go over widgets more in the 3rd video. You can also tap here to see any apps that are downloading, or apps that have been downloaded. You can separate them in that section, but right now nothing is being downloaded. So there's that. Now you also will see right here you have this little thing that's bumping out. Now if I hold down the arrow, this will go away. If I hold it again, it'll pop up. This is your multi-view window right here. So basically you just tap the arrow and it will bring up this section right here. Now once again, if we hold down on the back arrow, it goes away, and if we hold it again, it will pop up. And it'll be there for a second and then it'll push to the edge. So what does this do? Well, this will actually allow you to have multiple apps open at one time. Sorry about that, little earthquake kicking the camera there. So for example, I could have my calculator open at the top and have something open down here. Now how do we do this? Well, you can use the pen or your finger, tap that, hold, and drag it on the screen. Okay, so there's my calculator, right? Now, although you said you could have two apps at once, well, let me show you. Let's pick another app. Let's say we want to do Chrome. Chrome is the internet, so we're just going to hold down on that and drag it down here and let it go. And now I've got my calculator up here and I have my Chrome down at the bottom. Google needs help with something. I don't want to do that. So, no thanks. Okay. So here, and just tap, keep finger on it, and just drag it over. Cool thing is, you can adjust how big the different sections are. So right now I made the Chrome part bigger just by tapping this arrow right here and then dragging. So I could drag it so that's in the center. So now I have half calculator and half Chrome. But maybe you want to see more internet, you can drag it up a little bit, kind of like that, but it will scrunch up what's at the top there. You do have also some options to switch. So this button will actually switch what's at the top, what's at the bottom. So just tap right there, so that's a little line in the middle, and then when you tap, you can switch it, have Chrome on top, or switch it back, or you can tap the X and that will close out one of the options there. This also does work in landscape as well as portrait. So earthquake again, tripod stop moving, sorry about that. Okay, so we can actually take it and rotate it sideways, and then we can have the apps open like that too. And then you can also make this side a little bit smaller, so you have a small little calculator, and then you can still have your internet going here. And again, you can go up your list, and maybe you say, well, I want to see my email over here instead. So you would drag that, and now your email is over there. We can also have two internet browsers. This is really cool. So you could actually have Chrome on one side and the internet on the other, and you could look at them back and forth. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. Probably one of the most practical is you can have your music on this side, so you can continue to change the songs while you search the web. And then you can also, it's tripping right now. There we go. We can also, for example, have like Polaris open, Polaris Office, and you can actually look up things on the internet, and then you can put them into a Word document as well. Have the calendar over here. You guys get the picture. I mean, there's a lot of options here available. You can even have YouTube. You can be watching a video right here while you're searching the web. And then we can hit edit, and in the edit section you can, let's go full screen here for that. Tap here, edit, and here's where you would be able to drag different apps. Maybe there's an app that you're like, I don't want my world clock to be on here because I'm never going to use that. You can hold and drag it over here, and then you can just have the stuff that's important over here. So like chat on, I don't want to be there, so I would drag that off. Again, you just tap, and hold. So tap and then drag it over here and then let it go. So it gives you some options of customizing and then hit done. You can also search the App Store for apps that support in multi-view. There's a bunch more out there. You just get a couple to start when you get this tablet. So that's about it. Just in terms of, I just want this video to be about specifically functionality. So what to take away from this video again is just, you know, knowing what the buttons do, knowing how to get to your apps, knowing how to use the multi window option. Obviously, if we hold down here, we can turn it off. And then we have our notification panel where we can see different emails that we have received, get to our settings quick, our little settings shortcut, and just our switches to turn off our Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and our sound. So that's mainly what this part 2 was about. Part 3, we're going to get into some of the more funner things like how to download your apps, how to add widgets, and some things like that. So hope you guys did find this helpful. Make sure you like, favorite, and share the video if you did find it helpful. Subscribe to H2TechVideos and keep watching. And make sure you also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/H2TechVideos, and on Instagram at H2TechVideos. Have a good one.